What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit more about Telltale Games. We talked a couple days ago about the closure of the company, kind of gave my impressions about that. There's actually more stuff that came out around Telltale Games closing, and for this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about that, kind of a side subject on that, and that's basically the whole Walking Dead not being finished thing. And I want to make two videos on this. In today's video, I want to talk about refunding. I want to talk about should we get our money back and how I feel like not enough people are actually saying stuff about it, but I have heard stuff around the internet asking that question, so I did want to make this video addressing what I think of that. And then tomorrow I want to talk about The Walking Dead's final season in general. Now, we're still going to live stream The Walking Dead's final season episode 2 on Tuesday, and I want to make one more video on it after, so we got a lot of videos coming out over the next several days about Telltale. But for this video, like I said, basically what we've heard in the edition of Telltale Games closing, kind of the wrap-up of all the rumors and things that we had heard about the company, is that The Walking Dead will remain unfinished. That episode 2 will come out on Tuesday, and that is it. The Walking Dead is done. There is not going to be an ending to that story. And, you know, again, I want to talk about what that means and how I think that's pretty stupid and disappointing and all that stuff. I want to talk about that in the next two videos. But for this video, what about the refund? See, people paid $20 for this season pass, and the season was only going to be 4 episodes to begin with. It was actually shortened. You know, over the past 3 seasons, we've had 5-episode Walking Dead, and this time it's only 4. So we only have gotten 2 of them. Now, that's beside the point of should they even release an episode 2, and I want to talk about that later. But shouldn't we get our money back? Because, you know, we got half of what we were going to get. And, it kind of feels more of like a punch to the gut because, you know, at the end of episode 2, there's no way it's going to end Clementine's story. They didn't expect this, I assume, to happen. It's not going to have a definitive ending at the end of it. So we're getting half of what we paid for. And this has really never happened before. I remember texting Tyler, and even my girlfriend was talking to me about it. I remember saying, you know, this I think is the first time this has ever happened in the history of games that I can remember, just because of the situation. This situation can't really happen unless you have an episodic game franchise, and those aren't, you know, all around us. They are kind of, you know, it's a smaller amount of games that have episodic formulas to them. But this is the first time that an episodic game comes out, you buy the season pass, and the company closes midway through the game. It's not like a game that we think would be, you know, it's not a game that's gotten canceled midway through development, right? It's not a game that people have spent years working on, kind of like Amy Hennig's studio of EA. It's not like a game that that Star Wars game that people have worked years on, and then all of a sudden it gets closed halfway through, and it's like, well, we know that the game was probably halfway finished, and we can wonder what the game would have been like, but they closed. It's not really like that because they didn't have any of our money. Telltale has our money, and because we paid for it. So this is really the first time that's ever happened. Studios have closed mid-games. There has been some games that have promised like DLCs, like add-on DLCs after the game is released, and not given people all of that DLC. You know, if you bought like and this is kind of the newer like season pass when you spend the whole ton of money for the massive amounts of DLCs that they give out now. But that's happened before, where they don't give you the full extra content that they promised post-game because they closed or for whatever reason. But this is the first time it's ever happened where a company has given us half of a season and half of a game. Literally, we've received half of the game and played it, and then closed themselves and said, well, you're not getting the other half. How is that fair to us? Do we get the $10 back? Because, I mean, listen, it's an easy split. There's 4 episodes. We played 2 of them. You paid $20. You should get $10 back. Really, we paid $10. And that's really only for the people that bought the season pass. I mean, you could have bought individual episodes. I know ever since the first Walking Dead, and that was the first time I ever got into Telltale Games, I had bought each episode separately. Each episode of season 1 of The Walking Dead I bought separately. But after that, every single game that they've ever shown and they've ever played, and I believe I'm very, very qualified to talk about Telltale. I've played every single game since The Walking Dead's first season. I played Game of Thrones. I played Minecraft Story Mode, both seasons. I've played all of them. I've played every game. And some games were good, some games were not good. But, you know, this is the first time that, and I bought every single season pass. I would go all in. I'd say, you know what, I trust you. I'm going to give you the $25. Give me the 5 episodes, just, you know, and do it that way. So it really only affects the people that bought the season pass, that bought the full episodes, all 4 episodes. But that's me. And that's a large amount of people, I think. And I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen some major publications ask that question. I saw Game Informer do something the day that Telltale announced that they were closing and said like nothing has been said about if a partial refund would be given out. And that was honestly that was the only and first big news outlet that even asked the question. Besides that, I've just seen it in comment form on my video, on Twitter. I've seen that. So I've never, in terms of the actual like backlash to it, I'm not necessarily seeing it. Maybe people are too, and here's the thing. I mean, it's not like I don't care. Go watch the video that I made about Telltale 2 days ago. I care. I'm saddened by it. It sucks that everybody lost their jobs. That for one thing is really bad. I don't like that we're not getting the rest of The Walking Dead. It sucks. I want another Batman. I want a Tales from Borderlands. I really want Wolf Among Us Season 2. This is really sad. But then you have to also remember the current landscape of things. We actually deserve our money back. So that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think of this whole Telltale thing? We're going to have more videos in the future about it, but let me know about what you think about today's topic in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you for continued Telltale coverage throughout the next week.